Maybe. Perhaps.
Never.
Who knows?
Hello and welcome to the Broken Respawn podcast, where no one waits for me and everyone just goes ahead with it. Where we talk about all things gaming, streaming, and other bits that we're related to it that we're interested in. I'm TBSliver, and I'm joined here today by the ever-bearded SarinTal.
Hey everybody.
The Moogle with the Doodle Bopper, CaedesEnder.
Hey, how we doing?
And our special guest, the man from Yorkshire himself, Grassomaniac.
Hello. I'm glad he said special. I really do not fit that description, but thank you for saying so.
We're all special in our own little way. How are we all doing?
Yeah, I've got coffee.
All right. All right. It's Thursday. Got a bit of a cold, but hey ho, I'll live.
It's Thursday.
Thank God for that Thursday.
Yeah.
I can't find my water bottle anywhere, so I'm parched, shall we say.
Oh,
So-
I am using my Samaritan's mug, which I soaked the other day in hot water. Never soak a mug like this, a cup like this in hot water, because this happens.
Oh no.
It's sort of dropping. It's lost all its stuff. So Samaritans, I love you. I'm doing stuff for you again. If you want to send me another one, please feel free.
Oh dear, the shill
good
is
job.
real. And yes, happy Fake Turkey Day for all our American friends.
I always, it's the one thing that I really regret about not being American, because I would love Thanksgiving dinner, and that looks
yeah.
so tasty.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
I don't eat. I don't
have
eat
a Thanksgiving
food,
dinner.
probably.
That's it. Just go have a Thanksgiving dinner.
I do,
be amazing.
usually at 3 a.m. when I'm on night shift.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, you do. And then it's just like you throw a picture in the Discord. I'm like, I'm hungry and I'm sleeping. What the fuck?
There's been a couple of times where people have said, "What are you up to?" And I'm like, "I'm roast."
Isn't it just a glorified Christmas dinner?
Oh,
Christmas dinner's got
damn
extra-
you. No,
Yeah, Christmas dinner's got extra parts to it that I don't usually have. Like I'll usually have stuffing with the Christmas dinner, and a couple of extra little bits as well. And I'll always try and put a little bit aside for a sandwich later in the day. But with a normal roast, I don't do that.
And I am trolling for you American friends. I've got quite a few American friends, and I know I can troll and get away with it. So I do not mean that.
I mean,
I know it's very.
we could as the Brits we could troll, but like if we had something equivalent to Thanksgiving for every place that we'd taken over, we'd never get any work done.
Whoa. I mean, we do have bonfire night where we just get together on one evening of the year and just throw fireworks at each other. Actually, bonfire night's a weird one because it's to celebrate a failed terrorist attack on the House
I was
of
going to
Parliament.
say we're actually celebrating the incompetence of the nation.
Yes.
There. It's a weird.
We
one.
actually are.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, only Britain could manage celebrate incompetence. I mean,
The only equivalent we really have is Pancake Day.
Okay.
That's all
mean,
about the food, right?
yeah.
I mean, quite frankly, I'm all for Pancake Day. I mean, what better way to celebrate something than having loads of pancakes, preferably with some Biscoff or Nutella or golden syrup. I'm not fussy actually when it comes to how I put my pancakes.
I'm a lemon and golden syrup man myself.
Oh no, lemon golden syrup is pretty nice.
I normally just a bit either a bit of lemon and syrup or some Canadian maple syrup.
And for those of you
Which
abroad,
I plan on bringing down a nice bottle for you if I ever do come down, Sliver.
Yes, it'll actually be from Canada.
for those of you abroad and from the across the pond, It's exactly what it sounds like. Pancake Day is a day where we eat pancakes. That's literally it. There is a backstory behind it, but we just eat pancakes.
I can't remember. Is it something to do? Is it at the beginning of fasting
Lent.
or is it the end of fasting?
You clear out your cupboard ready for Lent, essentially.
That's the
But it's
plan.
just called
Yeah.
pancakes. I mean, I'd say a pro tip for anybody, culinary tip. I unfortunately, due to my dietary choice, I could substitute the cheese. There's quite a nice. I've actually made in the past a pancake like pasta, like almost like a pancake bake. So I get tuna inside the pancakes, cheese, put them all on a tray, put cheese on top, and it's like fajitas, put pancakes, bake them in the oven. So you
Like
get it's like a tuna bake, but with pancakes. It's really tasty.
Like a pancake hash, but fishy rather than beefy.
Fishy.
Okay.
It's very tasty, actually.
Yeah.
So just imagine a pasta bake in a way, but with pancakes. And there's a bit like fajitas as well, because I wrap them up, and I'll have to find a way with an alternative cheese rather than normal cheese for my meal now, unfortunately. But yeah, it works quite well.
There are a lot of very good alternative cheeses these days that you could act almost the same way as like a standard cheddar grated would be. So you've basically got any choice.
We talk about all things gaming, like cheese
and food. I mean, hell, last week. I mean, last time we had Diz on, and he actually does cooking streams. So you know what? The fact that we're starting with food means we're keeping a theme running. Holy crap, we have a theme? What?
Oh wow, you have a theme. You have a theme. You have a theme.
I understand. There's 2 Yorkshires in here today.
Oh God, yes.
There's
Where the hell's my pudding?
There's him from West Yorkshire, and then there's me from proper Yorkshire.
Him from West Yorkshire. I think you'll find it's actually pronounced Best Yorkshire.
Here we go. West Yorkshire, Best Yorkshire. If you have to say it, it's because it's not true.
What part of Yorkshire are you from?
South, the proper Yorkshire.
I know you're from the shit one. North one's better than South. I mean, what South Yorkshire got? Sheffield. Go on, keep going.
No, that's it.
Exactly.
No.
North Yorkshire's got Yorkshire Dales. It's got.
We've got the best bit of all Yorkshires. More exits than any other Yorkshire.
People are trying to get out.
Yorkshire, I mean, technically, it's a Peak District in South Yorkshire. I don't think even a Peak District is in South Yorkshire,
Well,
is it?
To be fair, the Peak District goes across all of Yorkshire. There is bits of it. I think.
So you can't even claim that then. So you've literally got Sheffield.
I think it's 5 through 20. Peak Trails 5 through 20, I think, are in South Yorkshire.
But you've literally got Sheffield, and both your football clubs aren't doing particularly well, and Barnes has just been excluded from the FA Cup. I mean, sorry.
But that's football, you know.
Right, with the long A. Barnsley.
Barnsley. Actually, I've got a soft spot for Barnsley, because that's where I actually got my degree. So I've got a real soft spot for Barnsley.
Coming round Tan.
It's good night out, it's Barnsley.
It's
Good night out. I ruined my mum and dad's carpet in the bathroom thanks to Barnsley, because I came home and threw up all over the bathroom.
Well, I'm a Donny lad, born and bred, trying to get out.
I'm from near. I won't give away my exact location, but near Leeds is where I'm from. Even though I'm actually technically more Wakefield. I'm actually Wakefield area, but it's actually closer. It's easier and closer for me to get to Leeds than Wakefield, which doesn't make sense. But there you go. So I say I'm near. Because most people know where Leeds is.
It's playing cards. Oh dear. But yeah, I will admit, I do go to Leeds quite frequently for the gaming and for the food, because they have a place in Leeds called Red's, and it's a grill and barbecue. So we always go into Travelling Man and pick up some mangas and some comics, and then we go to Red's for some good eating, and we go for a one day. So I must admit, I do like Leeds. West Yorkshire's got one good thing.
Big shout out for Travelling Man. It's actually become a bit of a staple for our Twitch Manchester. I keep saying Twitch, sorry, Stream Manchester meets, and we always go in there. I buy a lot of things from there. They're LGBT friendly as well, Travelling Man, which is always plus in my book as well. So a big shout out to. In fact, I have my latest purchase from Travelling Man, the D12.
Unfortunately, you can't. Is that a 12? That's a D20.
D20. A D20. What the hell am I talking about?
I was going to say. We can't really see it because it's a bit washed out, but that's like, yeah, that's fine.
Look, I'll make it even more washed out. There you go.
Light.
Oh, there we go. It's orange.
And also out of focus.
Yes.
Focus, please. This face, don't look at the face.
But it's programmed to do that.
Stream
by camera.
Anyway, Sarin's given up as started playing poker. Hang on a minute. I wondered what the noise was, because I heard this but a big. I was like, what the fuck have I forgotten to mute? Oh, okay, it's Sarin, right? Fine.
Okay, I'll just say a big hello to my friend Cute with Caedes in the chat. I've just seen her. That is my friend Nekadiva. Hello, Nekadiva.
Ah, hello there.
Hello.
Well, let's bring Sarin out of his stupor then. What have you had going on?
Honestly, been doing a lot of Star Citizen stuff. I've been having a lot of fun with the ships that they've been displaying in IAE 2973, I believe it was called, or 2953. They're gonna be bringing out a lot of the tech that they showcased in the live conventions. So we've got the Argo right now for the tractor beam, where you're long hauling ships across hyperspace.
Oh, they got the ship-based tractor beams in now. That's good.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The real question: how jank are they?
Don't know. Haven't had a chance to log in today to find out.
I'm going to go for all the jank. For the side order of bang.
If you tractor beam to one and you go forward and they go backwards, can you have like a boomerang, elastic effect, and launch them through hyperspace?
You know what? Me and Sliver will jump in later and test that. How about that?
I can't. I still haven't updated it. I suck.
I'm just gonna reminders do I have to give you.
Is it the same Sliver that only messaged me at 7:20 we were doing this and made me think we weren't doing this tonight?
The answer to that question, Sarin, is, as always, just once more.
Yeah.
You know what? I have your phone number. I've got unlimited international calling. I'm just gonna call you in the middle of the night. Be like, hey, have you done the thing yet?
I like this tactic.
I will put it on to download when I go to bed tonight, because I can just leave my computer running overnight.
I call bullshit.
I'll put some money on that not happening.
Ooh.
Anybody that's on TBSliver's DM list, just all message him.
Oh no! Don't do that! Don't do that to me! No!
Broken respawn.
Please DM him. Everybody watching, DM him. Remind
I'm just
him to
gonna
download.
mute everything.
Actually, don't even DM him to remind him to download. Just DM him. And send gifts. Send cat pictures.
You're all thinking rather.
You know what?
You're all thinking
Send
rather.
me a
like here,
message.
because I have a
And
car.
I'll give you his phone number if I have
knows his
to.
address.
No!
I can just drive over. Knock on the door.
Oh god, yeah, no, Caedes actually knows where I live.
That is some Liam Neeson kind of shit going on there. That's like
I
don't
know where
who
you
are,
live.
I don't know what you want. But if it's DLC for the game, I can tell you that you should get it. And if you don't, I will find you and I will kill you.
We'll find out.
Isn't it a major patch update as well from when I last played? Because it's like 20 gig or something.
If you haven't done the what was it, 3.21 patch, then yes. I mean, there's an update daily because of the expo, so I'm updating mine right now because I can.
This is the other problem. I don't have gigabit internet at the moment, and I've been looking at it and going, oh, I could get it, but I've got 6 months uncancelable. Well, not uncancelable, but it'll cost me the same amount to cancel it as to just go with it for 6 months of my current internet. I'm just like, do I want both? Yes, but also, can I be asked?
It's a bit like what happened to me because when I started streaming, I was actually on. That's how bad my internet was. I actually was on 5G internet, which turned out is the most unreliable service ever for streaming. And I got that desperate that was 6 months to go on my 5G contract. I just went and got fiber optics that's now available. And I cannot deal with dropping 500 frames every stream. I mean, as if by some small miracle, I actually during a 24-hour stream I did for Game Last didn't drop any frames. Which is still to this day, it's like the root of my connection knew that I was doing something big for charity that day. So it's like we're gonna
let
work
him
just
off.
for this once. We're gonna let him live.
You guys just saw my countdown. That was 2 gigs updated.
Damn.
Wow.
From download to install.
This is your internet, man.
Yes.
1 gig.
He's got gigabit, almost pretty much plugged into his computer.
I've got 130, which is all right, but it's not a gigabit.
I'm running. I think my home network. Mine's about 8. Actually, no. I think it might be about 50. I can't remember offhand.
Oh dear, you call it living?
At my previous house,
I had gigabit.
I had gigabit, but they didn't have it fitted to this place. The downside is, I got 53 down. There we go. 53 down, 20 up.
Not bad actually. Your upload's not almost mine. I only get 30 up, which is more than enough, really.
I mean,
think.
so I plan on getting it. The problem is,
I feel the pain of being stuck at 50 because the infrastructure of this house that I'm living in has copper wiring. So it's old school, like copper wiring wrapped in fabric. So this is a fire hazard waiting to happen.
yeah.
This was built back in like the 60s, 70s. So I understand.
So a relatively
before
new house compared to the UK. Mine's 1900s.
Well, this is
But
the
they don't
2016.
they like when they looked at the wiring, they're like, yeah, you're not getting more than 50 megs a second. I'm like, oh, and then they're like 5 years later, it's like, hey, we're bringing fiber to the neighborhood. I'm like, yes.
Yeah. I mean, when
So all of a sudden I go from 50 megs to 1 gig. I'm like, ah.
when I moved in here, actually, as of Saturday, I will have been in this house for a year since I signed the lease and picked up the keys. And so,
Nice.
yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah, I know, right? I've signed the contract for the next year already.
Oh,
So that's
special
good.
guest on my side.
Yay!
He's a wife.
There's a lady Sarin in green, so
Hello,
you are
Lady
completely
Sarin.
invisible
He's
apart from your
wearing
t-shirt.
green, invisible.
It's a ghost.
It's a ghost.
I was just like, hang on a minute.
Ghost of Christmas Future.
Wait. Oh dear.
Hang on, she needs to come back. What's in my future? I need to know. Come
Oh
back.
no.
Predict everybody's future.
Predict everybody's future.
Yeah.
Lots of money, a girlfriend, and fortune.
Who got the girlfriend and who got lots of money? That's
I
what
have
want to know.
no idea.
We got the girlfriend on the money.
Actually, I heard Porsche.
Okay,
Porsche.
we got. So we've got Sliver, Caedes, and Grassomaniac. Who's getting the money? Who's getting the girlfriend? Or Grassomaniac? Who's
I
getting?
think Sliver deserves it.
Sliver deserves a girlfriend. Okay, then the other two get money.
Money and
I'll just
fortune.
use the money to buy a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a non-binary partner.
Fair.
You do you.
You do you. Damn it.
So it's like, I wanted the money.
I heard Porsche actually mentioned. I've just set the Porsche.
I mean, if Sliver really wants, he can trade. Maybe somebody else wants the girlfriend.
Over money. Ah.
Yeah, money. Show me the money.
Sliver, I thought that's what you wanted.
I mean, it could be. I mean, it depends on what money. It could be a quid. Could be a pound.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't specify the amount of
No,
money.
you specify amount of money. It's just £1. You get
Here's
£1.
here's this nickel I
I
found
found-
underneath it. Yeah, right. Oh.
For somebody, that's a good grade.
I'm liking everybody in the chat sharing their speed. So we've got Paul Lydia that's on what is
50
that?
as well.
50. Someone has got I probably pronounced these incorrectly. Caedes is running 899 for 900 megabits. That's pretty impressive.
Hello, that's me.
I think you'll find it's Caedes. And
got
he's
it right,
in the
didn't
chat right now. In the voice PC right now.
I'm an idiot. I'm so sorry. This is why you shouldn't stream when you're tired and have a cold. So there you go.
The first time we spoke, he nailed it. He got the name
Kitty.
right first time. I was well impressed. And then he got it wrong the second time.
Kitty.
You know, no excuse. The one thing I am good at is English, and I got it wrong. The one skill I have is English, and I ruined it for myself and everybody else.
This is CaedesEnder, yes.
She's
Oh, I
not
was-
here anymore. She's
No.
gone.
Although if Caedes ever has a spouse and female, CaedesEnder would be awesome.
It's my cousin's name.
Oh, well then, never mind.
But no, it's actually until quite recently. I couldn't get fibre optic for years, so I'm joking about what Sliver gets. But actually, until like last year, if I could get 8 megabits down on a phone connection, on a wired connection, I was doing well, and it would disconnect all the time because I had noise on the line, despite me telling him about 5 million times what the problem was. And they
Yeah.
keep sending an engineer to my house to test it. I'm like, it's not at the house, it's at the exchange. Go.
Oh yeah,
Give me the key to the box and I will do it.
I remember having that issue too with one of my service providers when I lived in Ontario. They send somebody out every week for like 3-4 weeks. I'm like, you know what? Just take me to your manager. Take me to your and I went up like 3-4 tiers of management. Right? They're like, I am not talking to you. I've talked to you a couple weeks ago. Put me to your manager. I finally got to the guy that was in charge of the entire department, and I'm like, look at the speeds and where the drop is. And he had access to all that. And it's like, oh yeah, the drop's on our end. Huh, they haven't fixed that. We'll take care of that right away. Next day, everything was working perfectly.
Why did it take that? Though I don't get it, man. I really don't get it. It's just like you've got the process.
Because in the tech world, the consumer is always wrong.
That is true. Even though I wouldn't say I'm an expert. Sorry.
So the quote is that the consumer is always the customer is always right in matters of taste. That's genuinely the original quote. People always misquote it, and it winds me up.
Oh no! Wasn't the technical or wasn't the code PEPCAC?
That's problem in chair, not in computer.
Problem exists between chair and computer.
Oh,
chair and keyboard.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah,
that's PEPCAC. Yeah. Or ID10T error.
That's it, yeah.
ID10T. Yes, I love that error. ID10T. And if you don't know what ID10T error is, go write it out.
Write it down.
Write it down.
Grasso's thinking. He's thinking. Has he got it?
The cake is a lie.
Oh!
I think he's got it. There we go.
The problem with that is you didn't say it in a calming but also slightly threatening female robot voice, which is how I might have got it. You should have seen the look on your face when we tried to murder you. Please come back.
Get out of here, GLaDOS.
I love those
Also,
jokes.
the cake is gone.
Oh, so it wasn't a lie, and now there's no cake left. So
now it's a lie.
Frankly,
We were
finally lied about the cake.
gaming.
No, we were lied about the fact the cake was a lie.
I was saying we can finally move on to the gaming portion of the stream, and the cake was not a lie. This is what gets me about that game, and everyone insists it was. At the end of the credits, It goes down to the basement, and there is a cake with a single candle waiting for you. The cake was not a lie.
You receiving
you
it
just
was.
You just couldn't get it.
Yeah, you just get it. And also the fact she was taking you to the massive furnace was kind of gave you a bit of a trust issue there.
That's where she bakes the cakes.
I was going to say. How do you
That
think
was
she
the final
keeps the...
test. You had to escape that and then go back to get the cake, but you didn't. You didn't lie on the floor and
Assume the party
receiving position.
I've got an even deeper theory about that now. The cake was actually made of all the previous people that died because they didn't know how to get out of the furnace. So the cake is actually not made out of cake; it's made out of people.
Made of ash.
There is a portal theory for you all.
Are we going to do the dark theories now, like in the original Mario, where in the manual for it, it shows the corpse of a Mario underground growing a one-up mushroom, showing that the lives you collect as Mario are the corpses of failed Marios.
Yes.
That's canon. That is genuinely canon.
Okay.
It's actually a clone.
Or that Toad's mushroom is actually a hat.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the Toad's mushrooms.
Pixie Dove's got a giant afro inside it, you know. That'd be brilliant, actually. So like, thump. Oh yeah.
No, that's just Toadette. But my favourite one is all the Final Fantasy VIII, where for those who haven't played it, right at the end, they have to, with the power of friendship, make it back from the alternate dimension. That's the spoiler-free version. But they have to remember each other, and Squall, the main character, gets forgotten. And everyone says, no, this isn't true, because you see him at the end. But the last cutscene is one of the characters walking around with a video camera, and you see every single character except Squall. And then when she puts the video camera down, then it flicks to the perspective of the love interest. She's the only one who can see Squall, because she's gone insane at being the only person who can remember him, and then she goes in the future, becomes the sorceress who causes the events of the game in the first places. The main character of that game dies. And he doesn't even die, he just ceases to ever have existed.
I'm confused.
Play 8, you'll still be confused.
Well, yeah, it's 8.
Awesome. Oh god, it's 8. It's 8. 8 is the one that I actually plan on playing.
Yes.
At some point.
Also, Also, Commander Shepard has been indoctrinated by the Reapers, and everything in Mass Effect 3 is in hallucination by him. That means that Mass Effect 2 is actually the real canon ending, and Mass Effect 3 never happened. Thank you. That's what I believe, and I will continue to believe because I refuse to believe that ending for Mass Effect 3 exists ever. I'm still salty about it. The best part 20 years later.
I mean, like, I will caveat.
I guess we'll find out with the next Mass Effect game.
New one.
Yeah.
I will always caveat this sentence with the proviso that I never played Mass Effect. Not a game that interests me. I will get around to it at some point, but having obviously being in the gaming world, this gets talked about a lot. Now, as I understand it, the first game has branching choices. The second game has branching choices, and in the third game, all of those choices converge into one of three endings, where the only difference is the color of the explosion that saves the galaxy. That's the short version. You are one man. You are literally one man. You do not have that much of an effect on the entire galaxy. This galaxy is at war. You are one man. Your contribution is the color of the explosion. That is it. That makes perfect sense to me. And in a galactic scale, that's balanced. That's perfectly fine. You helped, for sure, but you're not important. It would have happened anyway.
I've seen
I will disagree.
And screaming into the void right there.
I will disagree
crazy.
Because if it isn't for the fact of the main character, the issue wouldn't have come into light in time.
Okay, so he alerted the government to it, and the government solved the problem, and he thinks he's important.
The government was useless, like most governments are these days.
The government was useless. They didn't listen to him at all until the third one. When pretty much by the third one, it's too late anyway. But yeah. I have to say though, this second one, I mean, actually, if you've not played them, I would actually recommend playing the updated trilogy with the updated controls, because Mass Effect 1 is a wonderful game. The controls, even originally, were a bit janky, and it's not aged well, but apparently they've updated it with modern controls. It's nice. The second one is probably one of my favourite games of all time, after Super Metroid. And it's just beautiful. The characters are so well written and everything, and the story is fantastic. And the first time you play it, you actually don't know which way it's going. You genuinely do not know which way it's going, and your decisions do seem to feel weight. The third one's brilliant until the final bit.
Yeah,
it's genuinely awesome till that.
It is literally the last 2-3 missions of the game that ruin it. And I don't know if I don't remember if it's because the main story writer left or somebody got I know there was some big shift inside the employment for the story part.
Yes,
and and they basically went, well, let's just wrap it up as is, like most games these days, and then you have 1.5 million patches later.
Yes, that's true, because it definitely did start to feel rushed. It was. I mean, I hope it's no spoilers for people that are intended to play. So spoiler. I mean, I know it's an old game, but spoiler.
It's an 18-year-old game, I'm sure.
Is it that old?
Having never got around to playing it, I'm never getting around to playing it. So I lived vicariously through Sarin as you played it. Actually, which one are you up to? You're on.
I was on 2. And the way I was playing it, because I've played the game through before, and I played it, when it originally came out. I mean, I even have an original N7 armored full zip hoodie that I bought off their store. I was so into the franchise.
Sorry, 17 years old. I was 1 year out,
and I still wear it to this day. I think I was on 2, and the way I was playing it is I was gearing my choices to make sure that I could save 2 of the factions at the third one. I won't mention what factions they are, but basically, if you just go through the story without taking a specific decisional route, one of the factions die.
Okay.
So I'm trying to make sure that both factions survive, so I can get the highest companion count at the end of 3.
I know which faction you're referring to. I got the very best. I got the very best ending before they patched it in 3. I was still absolutely apoplectic about it. I'm not one for getting in this whole internet sort of, rage, because I hope people don't think it's a bit of a hot take, but I do think there is a sense of entitlement with people that play, with certain people that play these games and watch anime, and not just anime, general things. And they did seem, and so normally when I see people go, oh, this isn't what I wanted, I'm like, well, it's what they intended, I'm afraid. But then I played the ending and I was like,
I must confess to having that same kind of...
No, I'm with them on this one.
Yeah, I must confess to having that same kind of vibe. As someone outside looking in, for me, that's where it all started to go downhill. That After that, everyone was like, if it's not the story I want, I'm going to be mad. Rather than just accepting it and moving on like we used to as kids, it seemed to be the point where everyone was like, no, this is, I've invested X amount of hours into this story, so I should get the ending I want. Okay, you've invested 40 hours into playing that game. The person who wrote it invested thousands of hours into writing his story.
Yeah.
You don't get to decide how that ends. That's his.
Yeah.
And I'll tell this to a lot of people that, harp on the Star Wars movie. If you wanted a better story, go write it yourself.
Yeah.
I did. It's called Babylon 5.
Hey!
Hey! I don't have the LG air horn, unfortunately.
But no, Sarin, no! Don't! Oh.
Do it.
Oh, wait, it's muted on my end. I don't have to hear it.
Did you just kick off? What happened?
No?
He got kicked. He left and then...
I didn't see him leave and join, but never mind. He's muted. I've got it muted on my end.
You bastard!
It was a poor ending though. I think the outrage with 3, and as I say, normally it's what they intended, but I think the outrage with 3 was the fact you made all these decisions, all this, and all of a sudden it's like your decisions didn't seem to have any consequences. It was like, yeah, fair enough, but it's like,
I mean, I do wish that there were different endings instead of just a different color splash. But
that's what I was expecting actually.
I mean, then again, which isn't like the whole thing about Mass Effect is more. It's roughly a story from A to B. It's not like something a bit, not like a lot of other very open world things like Fallout. Trying to think of an example where you pretty much make your own story almost.
No, because in one, depending on your choices, it significantly shifted the state of the government in 2.
Okay.
And in fact, in two, and unfortunately, it doesn't seem to have a knock-on effect to 3. In 2, you can actually end the game with no one surviving. You can actually, and I got the worst ending. This is how much I love the Mass Effect games. I must have played through and got it. I actually intentionally played Mass Effect 2 badly to get the worst ending, and I got the worst. You should have seen me celebrating when I got the final cut.
Everybody's dead! Yeah!
I've never celebrated failing a game before, but I got to that cutscene and I knew it was that one. I was like, yes, I've got the bad ending, yes. And I was like, oh, look, Shepard dies, brilliant. Oh, sorry. If he dies anyway, you can just kill it. If in combat, it dies all the time. So what's but unfortunately, then I was literally like, I wonder what happens if you bring it into 3 and nothing happens. It's like it never happened, which is a shame. I'd love to have seen what would have happened if you could have played 3 with Shepard being dead because of what he did in 2. I think. Oh, sorry, my camera's shaking a lot. It's because I'll mount it on the desk. I guess it would be too much fun to program and write. I imagine, but it would be quite cool if they could have somehow managed that.
Yeah, I mean, or just done kind of what they did. Another segment like what they did in 2 at the beginning. It's like, oh, we have to spend millions of dollars on you again.
Oh, God. But to bring it back from the dead again. How many times, Shepard? How many times?
But because you had the worst ending in 2, they would have put restrictions on your character.
You can build him,
certain choices would have been locked out. Like certain decisional choices would have been locked out. You would have been more focused on the corporation's path, right? Like they could have taken it many ways, right? And of course, there's many ideas that you could have after you've played a game and after you've seen it. But the thing is, after is already too late.
Can I just say, I actually want to see this game happen. I actually want to play this.
So you do realize you've just described every Deus Ex game, right?
Yeah.
I'll let you as a secret. I've not played any Deus Ex game.
Neither have I. I need to.
I do know Deus Ex. I do know Deus Ex.
I've played one, but you know what? Funny enough, I have the entire Deus Ex collection on Steam because there was a sale once, and I grabbed all of them.
Good plan.
Yeah, no, I would highly recommend if you like your narrative shooters, Deus Ex is one of the finest.
Let's see, I have Deus Ex Game of the Year Edition, Invisible War, Human Revolution Director's Cut, The Fall, and Mankind Divided. I think the only one I've ever played was Mankind Divided.
Skip The Fall. That's not timeline-wise. That's completely side story. The release order is the order you said them in. the canonical timeline order is Human Rev, Mankind, Deus Ex, then Invisible.
Okay, if anything, I would play them in the release order.
Yeah.
Just because game quality, I like to go, I don't like to bounce back and forth too much.
Nice to see the evolution of where they got to from the original games. It's quite...
Yeah. That might be a project for the future, though. Play the Deus Ex games. I do want to finish off my Mass Effect playthrough. I kind of put that on the sideline for playing Starfield, but Starfield's on the sideline until I finish Dead Space 3. Yeah, there's a couple of games in my backlog. I want to go back and check out what was changed in Grounded as well, because I think there've been some patches for that.
Well, I can tell you what's been changed in Grounded. The beta update has custom maps available now, so people have been building challenge maps, which are quite interesting. So the one I played was you start in a tunnel, and you just have to book it to the end using your end game skills to dodge spiders and tarantulas and all the ants and things like that, and the weevils avoid going through the poison clouds, and you've got to try and use it as like a maze to get to the end as a survival and stuff like that. There's been some really, really cool Mario Maker style levels on there.
Oh,
cool.
cool.
Very fun.
Ooh.
Going 1 second back to Deus Ex, the bundle is currently 89% off for everything, making it £7.47.
Yeah, that's less than a tenner.
That's
Steam.
ridiculous. That's on Steam. That's on Steam.
Yeah.
That's on Steam.
Sorry, I've just spent everyone's money. I'm sorry, everybody.
Not mine. I've got the originals on disc.
On disc. I haven't got a CD player on my. I haven't got an auxiliary drive on my new PC. So I
off Amazon. It's fine.
USB one.
The only thing I'm missing apparently 2 DLCs from Mankind Divided: the Assault Pack and the Tactical Pack.
Oh no,
that's just weapons, I believe, and it gives you what's called packs.
Well, right now I got
a character.
Right now I have to save my money for our ugly sweater event.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! That should have been £80 that bundle.
Yeah.
70 pounds, I should say. I may not be on the purchase screen right as I look at this game. Because I've never played them, and for that price, I might as well add them to the ever-expanding backlog, because I've not played Starfield at all. So I
played Starfield for, I think, 3 or 4 hours, and I uninstalled it. It wasn't interesting enough for me. Yeah. Sarin loved it. I think you loved it, didn't you, Sarin?
I'm just all about the space games. That's the thing, right? I even if the game, I always get sidetracked in any Bethesda game. So the fact that I'm sidetracked in Starfield is nothing new, right? But what I'm trying to focus on is that while I'm streaming it, I'm trying to focus on the main story progression. When I'm not streaming it, I go around trying to figure out base building, best base play, and I'm looking, and videos come across my feed all the time, and I'm just like, okay, where's the best place to build a base? Where's the best place, to get this resource? Where's the best place to farm experience? And I'll farm experience in my off time, and then when I'm streaming it, it's okay. I've got a little bit extra experience. I can progress through the story, see how that goes. I hear continuously doing the New Game Plus. There's a lot of different things that come up in the New Game Plus. I think someone hit New Game Plus 11, and there was this big deal.
There's something in one of the New Game Pluses, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really dive too deep into the spoiler stuff, right? But in a game this size, if I look up where the best place to build a base, I'm just doing it to save time.
Yeah, and also I think isn't the system semi-randomized? So the best place to build a base was dependent on their galaxy map. I think the planets are fixed, but not the location of the planets relative to each other.
Yes and no. Every map I've come across looks almost identical to the map I have.
Oh, okay.
And all the resources on the planet are identical. I guess, what differentiates, say if you have a planet, you have a tropical desert and a frost and a mountainous region. Based on which region you land, you'll get that specific map square to explore.
Right. Yeah. They grid the planets. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because I don't think you played. Did you? I can't remember if you played it or bounced off it so hard or didn't even bother installing it, Caedes, on Starfield.
I installed it through Game Pass. Watched 4 of my friends playing it while I was working one day, and then before I'd even had a chance to press play, I'd uninstalled it. Just watching them play was enough to put me off the game entirely.
All right. Oh.
I bounced hard off that game. I was just not interested.
To put it at this point, I'm happy I had it on Game Pass. I didn't have to spend $80 for it.
Yeah.
I'll say this for it. Every single of those 4 people, only one of them played for less than 30 hours. One of them put in 90. Most of them put in 40 to 50.
Which is the full... Which is, I think...
And then the first
completion
thing every
goal,
single one of them did was go and play Skyrim straight after. So, if nothing else, they got their money's worth out the game, and it made them go back and play a game that they absolutely love. So, by any metric, where's the loss? They all enjoyed the time they spent in it. It just, I knew I wouldn't, so I didn't.
Yeah, I'm definitely not saying it's a failure of a game. I think it's Bethesda's most successful game to date in terms of
It could have done better, though.
It was that
is,
before it even shipped.
Yeah.
The thing is, that's just based on pre-purchase metrics. If you're looking at gameplay, in terms of a space game, like a sci-fi space game, they made it a ground exploration without the ability to explore ground properly. I mean, I have the ability to fly in space. Yay! Why can't I put a mod on my spaceship that has a ground vehicle to explore the ground?
Yeah, drivable.
It definitely felt like half of the features weren't there.
Yeah,
and it feels very much like what Elite Dangerous did when that first came out. Here's the universe. We're going to fill it in as we go. Eventually, you're going to get bigger ships. Eventually, you're going to get asteroid mining. Eventually, you're going to get PvP zones. Eventually, you're going to get a car and a buggy.
Eventually, you'll get legs.
But we all knew that going. Yeah, we all knew that going into Elite. Yeah. Starfield, they shipped that as a complete game. That's it. It's done.
Yeah, that's it. No more.
I mean, it was a story.
To be a very me game. It just seemed like a very me game, but I have heard a lot of mixed reviews. Some people love it. Some people
there are features. Yeah, there are features that are definitely missing from a perspective of someone that plays a lot of various sci-fi games. I mean, if you're going to do a sci-fi exploration game, have the means to be able to explore not only space but planets themselves, right? Especially if planets are a big part of your gameplay. But I mean, if planets are not a big part of your gameplay, focusing on the ships themselves, great. But allow me to travel in between the 2 planets in the same star system without having to go in light speed.
Yeah. Yeah, like, No Man's Sky-ish. And I think that was the biggest thing that I think may have turned a lot of people off was the cutscenes. Not cutscenes, sorry, the loading screens. Like, you want to land, loading screen, and you've landed. You want to take off, loading screen, and you're in a map.
Right. And
like, you eventually get...
This is what brings me back to Star Citizen, just because it's like, okay, I wake up in a bed, I walk down to my hangar, I get in my ship, I take off. Before I could jump into hyperspace, I have to leave planet atmosphere gravity in order to be able to jump to hyperspace.
It's semi-realistic insofar as it can be, or should be.
To go to the other side of that same coin, ships were optional.
Yeah.
Apart from getting somewhere the first time, if someone gave you a marker, you could fast travel.
Basically,
it took you longer to get in a ship because of the loading screens and then travel to a place than it did to just click a map icon and go.
Yeah, you can teleport everywhere. Once you've been, teleport to whatever.
So as long as you're not overburdened, you're fast traveling everywhere, and that honestly takes away from like.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I mean,
I'll play the game just to get the story, because the story does kind of intrigue me. As far as game features go, it's sorely lacking, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh look, there's a Star Wars mod to make your armor look like Boba Fett.
As always, with Bethesda, the mods will save that game.
Oh yeah.
In 10 years' time, when the game is truly finished with DLC and content packs, stuff like that, and the modders have got to run at it. Oh god, yeah.
I mean, the modders had a run at it. I think it didn't have basically required mods, like quality of life, pretty much required mods in the first day. Like ones which are like, oh right, now you can actually access your inventory properly.
Widescreen, wide,
or the inventory is off the side and not overlaid in your front, or video quality, just sharpness, meshing, so many.
Yeah. So much just
surprisingly
missing.
A lot of them were just Skyrim mods ported over.
Yeah.
So the same mistakes were made.
Oh,
but again, everybody I know played it to capacity, essentially. I don't know anybody who went into the game, got 5 hours in and went, bored now, and walked away.
I did. Well, I was 4 hours in.
I need to step away for a 5. Give me I'll be back.
Sure. yeah, I definitely went in. I did the one stream of it, and that was all I played of it. I have uninstalled it now because it was just like, yeah, meh. And then again,
games like that, and it's not just big games. I mean, Diablo is obviously another one that's been absolutely railed. It's another one. I played the beta, thought it was enjoyable, didn't see a reason to buy it. It wasn't. They didn't do anything new. It was just more Diablo, and I wasn't willing to pay that much for it. And that's going to be a big thing in the coming years with how high they're pricing games. Yes, I understand that if games had kept up with inflation, games would be £100, $130 right now.
Yeah.
But we don't feel like we're getting that much value out of them anymore. Long gone are the days where you can say, I want £1 an hour out of the game. That's not a fair metric anymore.
Ironically,
you do, you don't get the quality anymore.
Yeah, I mean, and the irony there is as well. You look back at some of the top tier games of yesteryear, and even the consoles, and you're like, they were actually about $70, 70 quid. Back in the day for PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, they were that pricey for it. Which
even
is
further back, dude. SNES. SNES came in at American. They came in at $60.
Yeah.
I remember buying an Amiga game back in the very early 90s. That was £30 in the early 90s.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what, 80 quid now.
Yeah,
this is adjusted for inflation. You're talking near £100. It's insane.
Oh, easily.
Yeah,
but we felt like we got what we paid for, and a lot of the time now, and I think this is a product of A, the entitlement we talked about earlier, and B, the sheer number of games. I've got 1,500 games just on Steam.
Yeah,
you've got to do a lot to get my attention, and even more to get my money.
Yeah, I mean,
I do think
you can't be generic anymore.
I do think that's why I've been gravitating a lot just lately towards a lot of indie titles, and I do like what a lot of indie developers are doing. I mean, there's one game I'm really excited for. I think Sliver will know what I'm referring to because our mutual friend Ember Shadow introduced it to us. There's a game called Nightingale coming out next year. Yeah. That's looking like it's sort of like a Skyrim mixed with Oblivion and steampunk, and there's portals and there's a bit of a survival element to it. And I saw that it's a first person. I think it's third, but it might even be third person.
First person.
And third. Is it first? It looks amazing, and I was straight away. I'm like, that's got my attention. That's incredible. And that's an indie developer. I mean, I play a lot of indie games. I mean, the best game, even though it's actually not from this year, the best game I played this year, it wasn't released this year, is a game called Gris, and that is a completely.
I still need to play
experience.
that. I still need to. I have it.
Made
I'm
me
fairly sure.
cry twice. In fact, technically 3 times on stream.
I'm fairly sure I got Gris.
In fact, I was crying the entire time I wrapped up the stream, and I was still thinking about the game the day after. It was that strong. It gave me such a strong reaction. It was beautiful, and it just unique. It's like an action platformer sort of thing where you had to solve puzzles, and you had to there's like a boss fight you had to do that was a bit unique, and you had to like sort of find ways to defeat things. And there's elements where the map had flipped. No, it really is.
Yeah.
Anybody watching, recommend it. It's beautiful.
Chris is
well. I think this is what I love about games from mainly indies, but obviously AAAs as well. They're having to come up with new ideas and show that genres aren't dead. Gris, for example, that takes essentially the platforming genre and expands on it. And for me, this year, Sea of Stars, I don't care that Baldur's Gate 3 released this year, and it's an amazing game, which again expands on a dead genre. Sea of Stars is probably the best game I've played this decade. Yeah. It's been absolutely amazing, and that's a 6-man team or something. It's absolutely nobody. It's completely indie. And it's storming all over Starfield and Diablo and most of the AAA games.
It's a massive
game
as well,
which is a good game.
Yeah, Sea of Stars is a massive game. There's so much gameplay to it as well. You've put
not really. I mean,
you put 50-60 hours into it, though, haven't you?
Well, yeah, but I was taking it slow and streaming, and you got to bear in mind that at least an hour and a half of that was me decoding a message because I'm that kind of idiot. I found a script and I found a cipher, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do this for absolutely no reason.
Did you actually decode it?
Oh yeah,
if you did.
Right. So the problem was that it was very clearly from the start a list, and we suspected it was a list of Kickstarter backers, which it was. But the premise of the game is Sun and Moon. That's prevalent throughout, and it's from the guys who made The Messenger as well. For those who played that.
Okay.
So right at the top was a word that was a unique letter, three unique letters, and then halfway down was a second list, which was one unique letter, two duplicate letters, and then another unique letter. But the last letter of each of those was the same. That was enough of a cipher. That clearly says sun, moon. So now I've got SUNMOO. And from that, I decoded the entire message.
Yeah.
And it took me an hour and a half, but I got there.
I think I saw you at the beginning, and I was just like, but he was like, I think it was midnight our time. It's just like, I'm going to bed. Good luck.
Yeah, but if you look at the scale of the map and the speed runs, especially just a casual run through of the game, you can knock it out in 5 hours. It's no different than any Final Fantasy. But they were very good at pacing, and they were very good at divvying the story up for new zones and not forcing things down you and letting you discover things on your own and not punishing you for going somewhere that you weren't supposed to be yet. You didn't get a reward for it, but you weren't just given nothing kind of thing. And going back and exploring old areas felt worthwhile. And it was an absolute masterclass in how to do a classic RPG. Like, you cannot fault it at all.
No, I've also seen it on recommendations for people that have never really played RPGs as well. Like, it's being well recommended across the board for both experienced players and newbies. For get yourself into it, and it's got an interest in, like, the battle mechanic, with. Where you've got a bit more thing, but you've also got a little bit of interactivity of, like, is it the blocks or something like that? You can press A to block and rebound things.
Have, whenever the enemy's doing a non-standard attack, they'll have a set of symbols above their heads, and it'll be, sword attack, blunt attack, fire magic, death magic. So you've got to hit them with those magics a number of times. If there's 2 swords, you need to hit them twice with swords. If there's 3 death, you need to hit them 3 times with death. If you manage to pull that number of hits off before their next turn, you cancel their attack and they miss their turn. So there was an extra level of strategy to it that was basically unheard of unseen in RPGs.
Yeah.
But that's realistically all they had. They had a fun minigame. I'll give them that. If they sell that minigame separately, I'm fucking buying it.
Which one was that?
When you actually break it down, it's a small map, 2 small maps, with an okay story and interesting characters, with a good minigame, great pacing, and 1 extra mechanic. And that's all it was. A generic game elevated by just giving a little bit extra.
Yeah.
And that's all it took for it now to be competing with Baldur's Gate and Spider-Man for Game of the Year.
Yeah. I mean,
and Starfield is not in that running. No. That it just shows we want new things. We don't want the old anymore. We want the new back.
It's surprising as well how much a few, like, taking a little bit of care with a couple of features makes the difference between a basic game and a great game. And trying to shove every single feature in can completely fuck you over.
Yeah. There's a bit where you go and build a village for yourself. Completely optional. This is a little side quest thing. And if you do it takes, if you wanted to go start to finish, it'll take less than an hour. But it's spread out through the game, where you go here and do this, and then he'll give you a message, and you go here and do this, and it just, you don't have to do it. You can go back and do things here and do things there. And I keep saying it, but the pacing on that game was phenomenal. It was an absolute masterclass. I cannot fault it. And just the right amount of silly as well.
Yeah. Oh, I saw some of the jokes. It was brilliant.
But hey, what was one of the biggest titles last year, and it was completely unique, and it was an indie title? Stray.
Yeah,
that's the indie title.
Yeah.
When you think about it,
it's a game I've not yet played.
You need to play it. You need to play it.
You need to play. It's not a very long game either. You could do it in one sitting. You really could.
Yeah, I probably could. But as Sliver knows, I ain't got the funds right now.
You are not ready for that ending. Can I just point out? That's all.
I think my original playthrough was. My original playthrough with dicking around a lot. I didn't 100% it at all. It was 8 hours.
I streamed it.
It was 8 hours.
It. You know what I'm like on stream? I dick about a lot.
Yeah.
I've got something to mess about with, and usually run that joke into the ground for an hour. Yeah. If I can find something to run into the ground, I will find that. Run it into the ground.
But I mean, you get with Stray. Its bit that they got perfecting was the cat's movement and the fact that you could meow. Those were the 2 special bits. You could meow, and the cat movement was amazing. And if you got a bag stuck on your head, it reversed the controls. Yeah. Those 3 bits. That was it. There's only 2 bags in the entire map, I think.
There's some lovely touches to it. It really, there's a lot of fun. And again, I just think it's because it's an indie dev. They're not under any pressure from some big publisher. Hello.
Brain's gone.
Yes. Forgetting that I actually really. No, I was actually going to say it's for the PlayStation. And it was in space, and my brain has just gone.
Station in space. Oh, Final Fantasy.
No, there's a lot of controversy with it. And I actually enjoyed it, but there's a lot of controversy with it. Bing. They promised everything that didn't deliver on it. They actually now delivered on what they promised, but they didn't deliver at the time.
What, in space?
It's on the PlayStation. It's in space.
It was exclusive to the PlayStation.
Give me a character name or something.
It hasn't got a character. You have no character name. You have to build. You have to craft everything. You have to get your own resources, and every planet's unique. Why have I forgotten that name? Why have
Everspace, Startopia. No.
Is it something you played on stream?
Oh my god! Has anyone in chat got it? It's a game based in space. You have to craft things. You have to build your ship before you can live. No Man's Sky. Thank you, Kremlin.
It's not a PlayStation.
That's not a PlayStation exclusive.
Game.
That's not PlayStation exclusive.
No, it was exclusive to the PlayStation on release.
That was their biggest mistake. I think was it?
I'm sure it was. That might be a massive fact.
I think
yeah. It's not anymore.
Like PS4 and Windows. No, it was a console exclusive, but it was on Windows as well at the same time.
PC and PlayStation.
Was it not? I thought it was a PlayStation exclusive.
No, I got it on PC at release because I didn't have a PS4 at the time.
Yeah. PS4 and Windows, August 2016, and was massively panned because they didn't deliver on it, and they have delivered consistently since for free if you bought the base game.
I do feel sorry for the dev team, and I forgot his name now. I just think he was one of them, and I can see why he was doing it. He was under pressure on the camera, and he was going. So they go, yeah. So he does this, and he was going, yeah. And I was literally, I could just see that he was just trying to make people happy and please people. And it's like, dude, you are making stuff that you just cannot back up, and you are digging a bigger hole for yourself. But of course, as we mentioned earlier, the entitlements, the sense of entitlements in the internet, the massive backlash they got. But they kept developing it, and they kept developing. I've not played it fully, but I've played it recently. It is not the game I played. How long ago was it? 5 years ago?
5 years.
Longer than that, 2016.
It's an amazing game now.
If anybody's not played it, go and play it. It's actually
7 years.
Really worth playing it.
It's one of the games that we regularly use as an example of don't rely on being able to fix it afterwards, because no one's a No Man's Sky. Even No Man's Sky is barely a No Man's Sky.
I mean, even Cyberpunk couldn't pull a No Man's Sky. They're trying. They're damn well trying.
They've done good work, but they ain't it's known that they did the same with Witcher. Yes, I've got the right publisher. They did the same with Witcher 1 and 2, and it's just
Sean Murray.
They saved Witcher 1 and 2 with Witcher 3. There's nothing saving Witcher 1 and 2.
Ironically enough, the Hackspace in Lancaster, when I visited to pick up my stuff from there, they had a stack of old games, old PC games. I say old. I nearly took both stacks, and I restrained myself. And picked up Witcher 2 on CD, or it might have been DVD, and Stalker 1 and 2 for free, just on disc.
Say Final Fantasy and No Man's Sky can only happen once when you just listed 2.
Well, the thing is,
think about it.
I was going to say the thing is Final Fantasy 14 and No Man's Sky. I don't know. Did they take No Man's Sky down, or did they just add new stuff?
That was just consistent updates over a long.
Whereas 14, they literally went, "We fucked up and killed it."
They put a bullet in its head.
Yeah,
and they did some weird necromancy on that shit.
And it's still California.
It's not loaded in the background at all. I'm not stood in the Gold Saucer at the moment. Don't know what you're talking about.
Nope, no, sorry.
For No Man's Sky on a more extreme level, also see Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
Which is actually apparently very good now, and that's another game I need to play because I think I'll enjoy it because I do like.
I need to replay it. I've played one of the stories. There's the other 2 that I want to go through. I played the Nomad.
Sarin, you've played all the stories.
Yeah, I think the only difference is a few minor stories.
No,
the class choice is just a tutorial.
No, but it does also change a little bit of the character backstory because the Nomad does have various, their own personal story that take him to a different place. Yes, the overall story is the same.
You're done with it. You're done with the changes within an hour of starting that game. It's nothing. It's so disappointing.
Do it anyway.
Big complaint, because
Do it anyway.
as much as I'm not in real life, when it comes to cyberpunk dystopias, pick a game, Deus Ex, Syndicate, Cyberpunk, any of them, Corpo or for life. I am going Corpo every single time. And there was nothing. There was no reason to pick a starter.
I think the biggest difference was I think partway through you got a couple of choices that you couldn't take. You could only take as one of those things, but it's only I think it's some extra voice lines and maybe like you get a different gun depending on if you're Corpo, Nomad, or what was the other one? I've forgotten now. But Street Rat, yeah. But I will definitely say I remember playing Cyberpunk when it was after they'd done the first major round of patches, 1.2 or something like that, and they'd fixed a lot of the issues, and it was good. I really enjoyed it. And they have done a hell of an overhaul for the latest DLC. Enough that from a mechanics standpoint and your character's mechanics, they've redone the skill tree. They've redone all the various bits and how you level up entirely. So it's a different game now. I think someone was saying the other day how much it's changed.
Yeah,
because they reloaded their save and what's going on? I don't know what's here anymore.
I mean, I can say with all honesty, I didn't get hyped for that game. There was absolutely zero hype, and it was one of the most barring Star Citizen, one of the most hyped games. So I went in just thinking this is going to be Deus Ex, this is going to be Syndicate, this is going to be what I've played in the past.
Yeah.
And going in with that mindset, I enjoyed it. It was thoroughly enjoyable. There was a bit of street racing. I quite enjoyed the combat racing. The arm wrestling was a bit weird, but the story was okay. It was absolutely fine. I had no problems with it. I didn't see any of the glitches that people saw, except for the one time I called my car, it came up alongside me, stuck the middle finger up and drove over me. Slowly pulled away around a corner, waited, and then pulled away. I just absolutely trolled me. I got a video. Absolutely trolled me.
Are you sure that wasn't the glitch or the car just absolutely hated you that day?
I think the car hated me. I genuinely think the car was like, no, I'm done with your shit. Stop running people over.
Had enough of this now.
The thing is as well, though, I mean, Cyberpunk and No Man's Sky are two really good examples of modern games. Because some people bemoan modern gaming, and modern gaming does have its issues compared to retro gaming. But the thing is, you get a game that's absolutely broken on release, and they shouldn't have rushed it out. They should have tested it more and made sure it finished. But the thing is now, the wonder with modern updates and modern patches is they could fix a game pretty much instantly. There'll be a patch, whereas years gone by, you'd have to buy or they'd have to send you the patch and the disc. You couldn't get it patched. The game's broken. That's it.
That was always the thing, though, and that's
couldn't release it because
you could release it.
Yeah.
And this is the thing as well. The quality on release of games has decreased overall. Plummeted, probably.
I would agree. Because unfortunately, deadlines and get it out, hypes. And again, I think a lot of that's down to social media as well, unfortunately. Hate to say
it's all our fault.
It's not my fault. I don't tweet it out.
It's like going out and buying IKEA furniture with half the screws missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
you can go back and get the screws again, but you've got to go back.
See,
damn it!
I think it was Will Wright who said it, and the SimCity guy, and I must admit, I kind of agree with him, and this is a controversial statement. Half of the problem is gamers don't know what they want, and if you were to give a gamer a game that they wanted exactly as they've asked for it, it'd be shit.
They'd hate it.
You've essentially got to lead them by the nose to a game that they will enjoy. But the problem is, you don't know what we want either. So you're leading me to a game telling me how great it is, and then I get there and you go, oh, well, you just don't know what you want. Okay, but you don't either, clearly.
I will definitely say that's something that a game developer that's on Drop Frames regularly, Rami, regularly says. He's the guy that made Nuclear Throne. He was Nuclear Throne. So he's one of the main developers behind that. And the one thing they always say is, don't listen directly to your audience.
Oh yeah.
Like, don't listen to them directly. Don't implement everything that they say. Don't try and please them. But if they're saying something about something, take a look at it. But look at just look at it, and then look at all the bits behind it, and eventually you'll get to one thing and be like, oh, that random enemy over there that's unrelated to what they're screaming about is actually the problem because it shoots too much. And turn it down, and then they'll stop complaining about it. You know, it's
God
like...
damn it, Caedes.
I did nothing. You can't prove it.
It has your fucking name on it.
No, it doesn't. Show your face.
I think games are, in essence, in some ways, I guess. I don't know if I'm maybe thinking, I'm maybe choosing the wrong words here, but in a way, the kind of an art form, I suppose, in a way. I mean, you are playing something that this developer has designed and wanted to get out there. So you wanting the developer to change to what you want, that completely goes against the ethos of the game. I mean, for example, at the moment, I'm playing a game called, it is actually a real game, it's a pun, called Sticky Business. And it's a little indie game, and it's you make stickers and you're creative, and it's like
that one, yes,
a sticker business, and it's really cool. And
You've opened the Etsy store of the game.
Etsy store the game, yeah, it is.
Etsy store the game. It is. And I would never have thought of this game, and I was playing. I'm like, this is great. This is unique. It's got loads of elements. And again, if it was what somebody wanted, it might not necessarily be a good game, but because it's developers put thought of the game mechanics and just go, right, we'll release this. People are playing it and liking it. I love it. I've streamed it a few times. It's a lot of fun. And again, if you want what you want in a game, if you've got the ability, go make that game. Don't force developers to make the game you want. Again, going back to Mass Effect, everyone's like, change the ending, change the ending, change the ending, change the ending. And then they changed the ending, and everyone's like, well, that's not the ending we wanted. It's a bit better, but it's not the ending I wanted. And I'm like, yeah, the ending sucks.
Learn to mod the game and put it in your bloody self.
Can you imagine if they did that with a book? I mean, obviously they have,
yeah.
technically Game of Thrones. But can you imagine if at the end of Lord of the Rings, someone had gone, oh, I didn't like that. I thought Saruman should have won.
Yeah.
You'd laugh at the person. You would absolutely laugh at them.
Yeah.
Why we accept it from games, I don't know. And the thing that the ultimate irony for me is the people who say, I wanted this, I wanted that, are always the people who say, the problem is publishers get involved and change things.
Yeah.
Do you not see the problem?
Yeah.
The problem is the publishers. Sorry, Devolver. You're awesome, but...
you're saying publishers get involved and change the game, so let me get
some-
involved and change the game.
Problem is
Some
some
publishers, not all publishers. Some publishers.
I think,
Again,
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Did I say that out loud? Sorry, did that come out? Sorry, that was really
Coupos have got him.
It's got him.
Oh, sorry. Did I say that as well?
Oh,
Jesus.
you've got a really bad cough there, mate.
I will. The biggest example for me of a game that, if you want to see how fans can ruin a game, go and play Warcraft from start to finish. Because if you play World of Warcraft, you can see the vision, you can see the translation from RTS into MMO, and you can see what they wanted. And then it comes to Burning Crusade, and you can see their vision without the publishers. We know what we want, we know our mistakes, we're going to do it right. And then Lich King kind of doubles down on that. And then after 6 years or whatever that took, that's when the fans started joining the company and working for them. And we had Cataclysm, we had Panda, we just had nothing but crap so many years, to the point where now we've got Dragonflight and they are losing money hand over fist. Because the people who remember Classic and want to make it their own way now work for the company. That's the problem. You've got too many people saying, I think this would work. I think that back in the day we had this, maybe we should do that. Well, this never quite worked, but we could do this. And I genuinely believe that's one of the big problems they're having.
You basically got the people writing the fanfic working for the company. And the problem is, unfortunately, I've been forced to read some fanfic in my chat. That's what I'm going to say.
Oh dear.
If you relate it to fanfic,
Nekadif still watching.
You've got the original game, Warcraft, which is, let's say, Lord of the Rings. And then you've got what the game has now become, which is a fanfic, which is 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh,
and yes, okay, it made money. But where is it today? Who talks about it today? Who remembers it today? Where are the movies?
The only way it's talked about today is as a joke. Because it is.
It's an easy go-to.
Yeah.
And if you go the other way and you get somebody who has a single vision and no interruption, you get No Man's Sky. Because that's what it is now. It's one guy and a small team following his directions. Or, to put it even more simply, You get Stardew Valley,
Yeah.
Oh,
single developer
yeah.
who is able to work on a game he wants. Or RimWorld, again, another game. He has openly said he will never make
beautiful
another game because this is his game and he will work on it until the day he dies.
They're passion projects that have made bank. Like,
Yeah, and
the guy's
they've got
set for life.
nobody to interrupt them.
He could just stop it. I wouldn't be surprised if any of
Probably.
those developers could probably just stop developing, stop putting out patches, and just live
Stardew,
happily
not
for
so
the
much
rest.
because he did sell it, and then the corporation got involved. And I can't think what they were called, and he ended up having to buy it back from them because he hated what they were
God.
doing to it.
Oh,
That's
But-
why there was so much difference between the PC and console ports and the mobile port, because he was not allowed to, or he was either not allowed or refused to patch it. Essentially, he was like, "No, until you sell me my game back, I'm not doing it." You can
no
bollocks.
credit to him. Do you know
And
what?
he
stood his ground and he won.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good on him. I mean, I guess on another level, you got Mohang with Minecraft.
Minecraft. Well, he sold it in the end.
Not-
that
yeah,
went to
not-
the company. It's
and
now
not-
Microsoft.
Not, yeah.
And kind of thankfully he sold it before before everything caught up before I think before Stardom caught up with him while he was still at the helm, because unfortunately he's like Notch is the example of Notch is an
much
unfortunate
power.
example of too
Big
much
man crazy.
too much money. He went off the fucking deep end.
He's what I refer to as a Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah. Or for the
And
modern
then-
ones, oh god, what was it? Justin
Miley Ray
Bieber,
Cyrus.
actually.
Justin Bieber.
Oh,
Any
God.
of the child stars who, like,
Britney Spears.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, she's bless her. She's going through her demons at the moment.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the other end of the spectrum, which is Mimimi, development team that were close knit, very friendly, were doing okay. They put out Shadow Tactics. They had a couple of little DLCs and games here and there. They put out Shadow Gambit. Said thank you very much for all your support. We're done. We hate this industry. We don't want to work in it anymore. Here's the game. We will support it. There will be no further content. There'll be basic patches. Everybody in the company has agreed. We're done.
Wow.
And they
The
shut
game-
the company down to last month. Gone.
The gaming industry, like, you look at it right now. There are job cuts. There's layoffs. There's
Yeah.
firings. It's firings across like not just the actual development side, but also, you know, like the QA, the writing teams. Look at Bungie, and then you look at
Escapist.
and then again, literally, that's the next one. Is the Escapist, and that's related because that's games journalism. So it's and they like they let go of the Escapist made a massive mistake. They fired the head. I think it was the main. It wasn't the main writer. It was
essentially the production team.
the production. Yeah, they fired the main guy for the production team, for the video production team, because he couldn't hit the targets that they were randomly setting, and several other members of the video team, and so the rest of the video team quit, and Yahtzee Crowshaw quit.
Yeah.
So they had no video team.
because he's got
Wow.
no production target and we don't pay him, so we can't fire.
Yeah. And the thing that made me laugh was there was an article saying that Escapists are in talks with Yahtzee and some of the rest of Second Wind to essentially sell them back the rights to their IPs, like Zero Punctuation. And as far as we can tell, Yahtzee went, shove it, keep it. I don't care. I'm done. I'm on fully Ramblematic now. I've already set it up. It's out. My first video's out. Keep it. And this week, yesterday, Zero Punctuation went up with the Spider-Man review that was supposed to be 3 weeks ago when it all kicked off. They actually did have the balls to put it up as a final review, or possibly not, because they've still got a Sonic one to release as well.
I think they've released everything actually, as far as I can tell. But yeah, what was it? I saw some joke posts about that as well. That Yahtzee Crowshaw has managed to miss no video uploads, even though he changed jobs, lost the video rights. Just like he came out with Fully Ramblematic, which is basically Zero Punctuation 2.0, which has got better graphics, better production, and he can do whatever the fuck he wants, which is actually more power. Considering what he got away with saying to begin with under Escapist, he can now say what he wants.
Yeah, there was someone said it in their Discord, in the Second Wind Discord, and I couldn't agree with them more. Yahtzee made 0 punctuation. Zero punctuation didn't make Yahtzee.
Yeah.
No, they like the escapists cannot. Not that they can't physically, but they put out a 0 punctuation that doesn't have Yahtzee Crochet in it. It's dead on its wheels. It's like
I think they're doing the right thing. They put out the last 2 videos. They knock the nail on the head and say, "Thank you, we're done."
Yeah,
we may come up with something similar, but we're not going to replace it.
Yeah, no, there's no way they're getting it. Yeah.
There's no end game for them there. If they claim ownership and do some more, whoever does the voice will be bullied online, and it's a horrible thing that we live in that world. But they will be. They'll get death threats.
And
I can guarantee that.
Unfortunately, it's just the way the world is, sadly, and it's not. Doesn't make it.
Or they could have gone the other way and not released the videos, and then they would have been panned for. You're just trying to ignore it. You're just trying to pretend it never happened. So I think they've actually done the right thing. Here's the last 2. Goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, at the end of the day, I think, and if the escapist and I fully guarantee there is legal teams on both sides trying to work this out between them, because there is no way there isn't. But like, I think the best thing escapists can do is either drop the names or give them back. They're never going to use them again because they're going to take Second Wind have taken them. But it's still like they're not going to get anything there. They can't use those names. Like, I mean, I know that Second Wind have gone out of their way every video and every comment to say don't go after the escapists, especially because they've got a load of friends there that are still there as writers, and the escapist still has all the writing team. Like, they still have all the people that do the blog posts and all that, and they're still working there diligently. It was just the video team that went, and this is one thing as well that Second Wind I think is not doing. They're not trying to go after the written side as much. I'm not sure. I think they may be doing a couple of written things on the Patreon, but nothing specific, nothing above what the video producing people were doing anyway.
They're sticking to what they know.
Yeah,
and I know for a fact. Well, I don't know for a fact, but I get the impression that some of the people have said they do want their IPs. There is some stuff they would love to continue doing that they did on Escapist. They are wanting that back.
Yeah.
I think if Yahtzee wants 0 punctuation back, it will be so nobody else can use it. So in 10 years' time, when the Escapists looking through their back catalogue, we can revive 0 punctuation. It's been long enough. You don't need that hassle. Just buy it back.
Yeah, I think that would be that'll probably be the big thing that happens. They'll probably will take possession of it because
I hope so.
Yeah,
even if they don't use it, I hope because it's his baby.
Yeah, I wonder if the agreement that comes out of that is basically it is dead. You are not allowed to use it sort of level, rather than he buys it off them. That might
I
be
think
what
I don't
he goes
think
for.
he would want to. Like I say, he's put enough effort already into Fully Ramblematic that.
That was his old blog name, wasn't it?
It's one he used a long time ago, yeah.
Yeah.
And Nick hates it. The guy who kind of kickstarted all this, he absolutely hates the name. Every time it comes up, he's like, change the name.
He's not gonna. Yahtzee's now doing it, keeping it that name for the annoyance factor.
Oh, yeah.
And he knows it.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. And I've just looked at how long we've been on for.
Yep. I deliberately didn't say anything this time.
Yeah.
the conversation was flowing. Why would you break that conversation? Why would you break that flow?
Why would you do that?
I know.
You broke it.
Fine.
It's all your fault.
I quit this podcast. I'm not even a part of. Bye.
Where's my check? I'll be in my trailer.
Hang on. This is the slowest mic drop you've ever seen. Bye. Never see me.
Shall we do the wind down then? Any last bit anybody wants to throw in before we go?
Yeah. Any other random topics you want to throw in right now?
I think I'm clean for once, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've rambled. We've rambled along, I think. No.
My D&D battle maps arrived. I now have 50 double-sided battle maps.
Ooh, nice.
Put that out there. That's always fun. So C&D is going to be very fun, Sliver.
Yeah.
Speaking of tabletop games, Caedes, we need to find a day to continue our X-Wing matches.
Yeah, man. I mean, let me have a look. I've got no more time off over Christmas other than my standards, but pick a day, I'll try and make something happen.
Well, As we all know, my streaming days have changed. So Fridays and Saturdays are my 2 days.
If you want to pick Saturday.
However, this week is out because my mom's coming into town.
Yes, this week would be out for me because I have tentative plans at the moment, so I couldn't, in all good conscience, make others.
Yeah.
You know what? I could probably do the second. If anything.
2nd of December, I am free. I am not working. I will have played D&D the day before, so yeah, that's good for me.
So,
all right.
You heard
2nd of December.
You heard it here. 2nd of December, CaedesEnder Sarin's channels for some Star Wars tabletop on Tabletop Simulator, I'm guessing.
That does sound really cool.
And I think we could have up to 2 more people on the tabletop for a 2v2 faction game.
Gonna remember how to play it now.
Brush up on your rules.
Yeah.
Also remember not to merge my cruiser to the right straight into the just deployed TIE interceptors. Whoopsie.
Everything died, I guess. Oh dear.
Oh,
Whoopsie.
I wiped out 3.
Oh no.
I think I damaged blew up 2, damaged 1. It was a massive.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Right then. Well, in that case, it's time for shout outs. And as you're the guest, Grasso, you're first.
Well, I take it as the part where you promote yourself.
Yes.
Sorry.
This is the bit where you talk about what you're doing for the next while.
Right, for the next while. I mean, it's actually quite interesting you mentioned that. I am obviously a modern and retro and indie a gaming variety streamer. I play all sorts of games. I am usually live on Twitch at the moment, Tuesdays and Thursdays. However, in December, there is a very, very, very big month coming up for myself and a charity that I am very fond of called Samaritans. And I am going to be live doing extra streams, doing lots of collaborations, of which a couple of good people that you're currently watching may be part of as well. I am going to be streaming throughout December as part of Samaritans. I've got lots of streams planned, lots of collaborations, lots of shenanigans, lots of forfeits. There's going to be, all I'll say is there's pickles, Marmite. I have got some donation goals, of which one may involve me in a hot tub with tea, which will be a paddling pool in my kitchen. If we hit that goal, I'm also thinking.
Is that a hot tub of tea or with tea?
A hot tub of tea.
Of tea.
Yes. Also, I'm thinking of doing a fitness video style stream and things like that. I have a 12-hour stream coming up on the 16th of December, permitting, because there is work going on in my house that week, and it may prevent that, but we'll see. So yeah, that's what I'm doing in December. I am streaming for the Wonderful Samaritans. I generally am just a chaotic streamer. It causes chaos, likes to have fun, doesn't take itself seriously, and I'm from Yorkshire, where the best tea comes from. And I've
the only tea.
Yeah, the only tea, and I've got a teapot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's actually got a famous teapot.
Teapot with teapot face. It's more famous than me. Actually, watch my content for the teapot, not for me. This is the real star of the show.
Caedes.
Hello, I am CaedesEnder. I am on the floor currently fixing my chair because I was kind of expecting to do Sarin first. Hang on. There we go. So, I am CaedesEnder. I have not been streaming recently because IRL and other problems have been astoundingly prevalent. It is all coming to an end now, though, so hopefully December we will start streaming again. But I am a variety streamer, also from Yorkshire, but I'm from the best Yorkshire, so it's fine.
No, you're not. You're from the worst part. I'm from best Yorkshire. You're from South Yorkshire.
The main things to point out at the moment on my side are Monster Hunter board game is still underway. We are still working on that. More changes are coming, and keep up with it. You can head into the Discord. We have a channel for it, and I'm constantly asking for feedback on varying things, but that is coming to a close. So I'm hoping by Christmas we'll have a playable version ready. And also, speaking of Christmas events, we have what we call our Bad Sweater Secret Santa coming up at the moment. There's an event up in the Discord at the moment if you would like to join it. Essentially, what you have to do is sign up by the 8th. On the 8th of December, I will hand out a name from the group, standard Secret Santa fare. Your task is to go through Steam and find a game that is mostly negative or overwhelmingly negative.
I have a suggestion for that.
Okay.
Instead of handing out a name, why don't we do it on on the podcast previous to the event? We do a roulette wheel of the names that are in the hat.
Okay, so what are we on now? We're on 22nd now? 23rd now.
23rd.
Yeah.
Next one will be the
So-
7th.
On the 14th
7th.
or on the 7th.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
final.
People have,
no,
people,
yeah,
people
okay.
have until the 7th to put their name
It's, that
into,
only
the,
moves it
into
forward
the
a
Bad
day, so yeah.
Santa.
Yeah, that works.
That works. So on the 7th, then we will we'll put the names into a pool and we will essentially tombola them off. You will be given a name of someone. You will spend $5 at the most, $5 or pounds, depending on your region. And you will buy someone a negative, mostly negative or overwhelmingly negative game on Steam. And then on the 21st of December, after the podcast on that day, we are all going to jump in Discord. Sliver may stream it. We haven't decided yet. And we will be playing those games, and they will be terrible. If last year is anything to go by, we had 8 contenders last year.
Something like that.
Sorry, 7 contenders last year, and only one of them walked away with a game going, you know what, I might finish that.
And they did. Well done, Lydia.
That was Lydia. Yes, hold on. You definitely won. So yes, the idea is we want bad presents for Christmas. So get over to the Discord, sign up for it, and we would love to see you there. And that's a long one, but we'll send you over to Sarin.
Yeah, so I'm SarinTal, also a variety streamer, part-time streamer, full-time dad, with now a puppy that's whining to get out because the wife's putting the baby to sleep. I am mainly focusing on space games right now, so you'll see me a lot in Star Citizen, Dead Space 3. We're trying to finish that up from Spooktober, and then going back into a bit of Starfield. That's something I wanted to mention, but
Yeah, I think you've just got a new game that you wanted to play on stream, haven't you, Sarin?
I did. Yes, you sent me. What was the name of it? Independence War 2: Edge of Chaos. So I guess I'll be picking that up at some time as well.
It's jank and old. Play it in your own time. You don't need to stream it.
Okay. And then of course tune in for December 2nd for some tabletop of X-Wing version 2 with me, Caedes, and hopefully a few others. What was something I wanted to talk about? Oh yeah, I started multi-streaming.
Yay!
So on my streaming days, you will see me both on Twitch and on YouTube. So whichever platform you prefer, you have a choice there. Of course, Twitch is going to have more of the functionality because of their channel points. I'm still trying to figure out how to get that incorporated into YouTube. Speaking of the channel points, Sliver with Grasso's follow, we are at 300. Need to get working on that project.
Da-na-na-na.
Well done. Well done, Sarin. Brilliant.
I'm at 300 followers on Twitch, which is a milestone I was looking at.
So now he's beat his milestone. It doesn't matter. Everyone, go over there and flood him with follows. Go
Yes. If you're not following already, go get it. Go get it.
See if we can get it to
What are you
310
doing?
by the end of the day. Go.
Yeah.
By the end of the year, if I get to 400, I'll be happy. I'll be not happy. I'll be overwhelmed because that just that graph just shot up. But that does mean I am going to be trying to work with Sliver a little bit more often and getting that project going. That you guys will find out what happens.
Hello. And that leaves me. I'm TBSliver and another variety streamer. I'm focusing more on. I don't know what am I focusing. What am I focusing on at the moment? Trying to get myself golf Zelda. Yeah, trying to get myself into speedrunning, but getting distracted by the number of other games I'm playing, as well as trying to play through the entire Zelda franchise. We finished Ocarina of Time about a month ago now, so we will be starting Majora's Mask next. Possibly tomorrow, brain permitting. I'll be honest with that, which will be
Star Citizen.
That's for tonight. But yes, that's me. You normally catch me 8 p.m. UK time, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and there might be a short play Saturday this Saturday. I'm not actually sure. I've got a few things going on Saturday that script pulling me in 6 different directions. So we'll see. Keep an eye on the Discord. We'll let you know. But yeah. I'd love to see you all there. It'll be great to see you all. And that's, I think, it from us. Any last remarks?
West Yorkshire's better than South Yorkshire.
If you have to keep saying it, it's because it's not true. Join the Discord.
Hey!
You're the one, yeah, join the Discord. Join their Discord.
BrokenRespawn.tv/Discord. If you're not there already, get yourself in there. It's great fun, and we talk all sorts of all sorts of stuff about all sorts of stuff we're interested in. If you found any of this interesting, come chat with us about it all, and we'll see you in the comments.
Words out.
And if I've not killed him in another War of the Roses, we might have grass on in future.
Hey,
I mean, technically that's Lancashire versus Yorkshire. Why would Yorkshire fight against itself? We're meant to work
You guys
together
enjoy-
here, not against.
Bye.
You guys enjoyed today's podcast.
bye.
Like, follow, and share. Bye.